Alan, I want to thank you so much for having me out here today. I can't wait to see the process of making a wheel, so thank you for having me here.
No, we're honored to have you, and it's great to show people that how we do it and why we do it the way we do it.
I'm looking behind us. Now tell me, what we're looking at here this is the actual raw material that starts the wheel process? This is really heavy, right, at this point of material. I mean, how much weight is going to come off of one of these pieces by the end of the process?
Yeah, so we're usually going to take about 80% of the weight away. So on a one-piece forged wheel, you're going to start with a part that weighs about 50 kilograms or so, and then you're going to take it down to, say, 10 kilograms. And I mean, all that material just goes back and gets recycled. So it's an expensive way to make wheels, but you know, it allows us to have a lot of freedom and really make something special.
So walking around, we got into the factory, we're walking through, there's a lot of equipment, first of all, stuff that I don't even know what it's called or what it does. What are we looking at behind us?
So right here, this is one of our vertical lathes, and it's the way what we're going to do is we're going to take that spun blank forging and we're going to turn it. We're going to basically cut a really precise profile into it. It's going to get flipped over. It's going to go into this lathe right here where we're going to cut the other profile and end up with a fully turned blank at that point.
Aha, like okay, got it, okay.
So it's gone from that raw forged piece to now a precisely turned piece. In this case, this is a motorsport wheel, so you can see some of the knurling here that we're doing, and that's to keep the tires from slipping.
Now this is the one-piece process here. Is there a different process that you follow for the three-piece?
Yeah, for a three-piece I can show you. It's very similar. Normally our three-piece is actually done on a traditional horizontal lathe. Here we're actually running a three-piece center on a vertical lathe as well. It's the same process.
Right.
It's going to go in and it's going to have to get turned over. And then from there it's going to go to a more traditional mill. This is going to come in and it's going to start cutting out the style, right? So this is what we call a mill step. So he's going to start really cutting out the windows and the spokes and then the bolt circle and the cap and all of that. And that's really when it starts to look like a wheel.
Looking at all the different, I mean, from a layman's perspective, we're looking at, I mean, they look like drill bits. They look like bits of some sort. This is what's creating, these pieces are what's creating the pattern in each individual wheel?
Exactly. So they're the cutting tools that are going to go in and cut all that material away. If you look up here, one piece, you can see all the different tools that we have, and it cycles through the ones that it needs. The program will call out the ones it needs and uses only the ones it needs to do the different features that we want to cut into the wheel. But for a one piece, it's a little bit different. What you're seeing in here is, unlike the three-piece center where you have a center forging and then you have to flip it over, and this one, this is set in horizontally. So it's going to come in and cut sideways, and then that fixture is going to rotate around and it's going to cut the back. So it's going to take the blank, the turn blank that we had, and then when it's all done, basically end up with a complete wheel. Versus two process steps there, this is all done all at once. This is for a Porsche 918. So this is going to come in, it's going to cut all of the window features, and then it's going to rotate, and it's going to come in and cut the backside. Normally you're not going to see these pinholes, but that's because of the center lock.
Oh, okay.
You'll see lightning holes or something like that. And we're going to come in and have the engraving and track this.
About this. This is a tracking system.
Yeah.
You guys stamp the wheels and the back here so that you can go back later and you can reference the order, reference how it was made, the coding, the fact everything about this, who ordered it.
And so if we want to replace this, we know exactly what it was and we can replace it exactly.
No guesswork anymore.
Exactly.
After it came out of the horizontal mill, so you see, obviously it's made shape, but there's still, this is rough, right?
Yep. So this feature here is actually fairly complex. You're going to come in and you're having to machine it away tiny bits at a time. That's called surfacing or coloring. It takes a long time to create this. We're going to have to go in and prep this out to make this perfectly smooth after the fact. So we do that down.
Is that the next step?
Every step. Yeah. We do a quality control process. But yeah, the next major step is prep. This is the prep room. This is where we're going to do all of our polish finishes and our hand brush finishes, things like that. Things that are really sort of meant to look like they're hand done. This room is really meant just for that. These hand finishes, I'll show you when we go downstream. What we're going to do is we're going to put a clear coat on them and you'll see that brush finish, and it doesn't look like it's been done by a machine. You can tell somebody went in and did this by hand, and it took about 2 to 3 hours per wheel to actually create this finish.
Wow, so I mean, you can automate a lot of the process, but at the end of the day, there's a certain element of making a wheel, or at least making an HRE wheel that is, I mean, there's human,
Absolutely.
there's hands involved in this, not just machines.
We don't want it to look like it was done by a machine. We want someone to know that somebody actually spent hours by hand doing this finish.